I don't think you have any idea how fast I really am. I'm fast as fuck, boy. Still fast as fuck, boy. Come get some.
This build pushes things to a new extreme. Welcome to the level cap Gauss build that makes even the most difficult enemies in the game a straight-up joke. Before we dive into the video, I want to clear up the Gauss bug for those who know about it. As seen in the clip, there is currently a way to make him essentially immortal even at level cap due to a bugged interaction with his passive. Because this is not intended, I won't be using or discussing the bug and the build will not be using it. Now that being said, I'll be explaining the logic behind this build. At level cap, Gauss normally has two ways to stay alive: normal shield gating, which is just not ideal, and the second option is using his skill 2 when you are at 100% red line to become invulnerable to most damage types. However, there's one major problem with this skill, and that is when active, your battery will get drained based on the damage the enemies do to you, and also just for having it active. In normal level content, this is not much of an issue. However, in level cap, due to the sheer amount of damage the enemies do per bullet, charging red line becomes essentially impossible while skill 2 is active. The solution would be to either hide in a corner and charge red line away from enemies over and over, or to shield gate until red line is charged. Because red line takes a while to charge, especially in high duration builds due to how it scales, neither of these methods were ideal. The real solution is actually quite simple. Seeing as red line gives you higher bonuses based on the duration in your build and doesn't scale off strength, also seeing as Gauss simply does not need more damage than red line already provides, even at level cap, I chose to swap his skill 2 for quiver instead. Redline and quiver scale perfectly together, and it also allows for much less micromanaging and easy redline usage. You can make full use of quiver by simply bullet jumping in any direction and shooting your own sentinel with the invis arrow. Now that we know what makes this build work so well, here are the mods. We are using corrosive projection to allow our 3 to fully AoE strip with just a few points of redline. For those of you that don't know how to strip with Gauss, you simply cast ice and then heat with his skill 3, as seen in the clip. The rest of the mods consist of range to strip more enemies with our skill 3, and tons of duration to boost redline and quiver since they don't scale off strength. We are also getting extra duration through molt efficiency and arcane energize to allow us to comfortably strip frequently. As for the Archon shards, I currently don't have them on due to low bile, but I used 5 ability duration shards during my runs and would encourage you to use a similar amount. As for the weapons, I chose to make this a melee build due to Gauss's movement speed, but feel free to use guns if that's your preference because Gauss buffs both melee and guns anyway. The melee of choice here is Hate Incarnon due to its insane damage and stance. We have it modded for viral since we have strip from our skill 3 and also get forced / from the stance. Here are the upgrades I chose. The secondary can be any primer, but in this case, I went with Kuva Nucor modded for viral and also with a dexterity arcane. Finally, the primary I chose was the Miter to simply one-shot any annoying nullifier bubbles through its augment. I also have it on a Dexterity Arcane to make keeping a 12x combo very easy. Finally, we have the Sentinel. We are using Nautilus to group enemies, but feel free to use something like Worm if you're using guns. The most important thing here besides Cordon for grouping is Tenacious Bond, which gives us passive 1.2x crit damage if we have high enough CC on the Sentinel's gun. Very few Sentinel guns can actually achieve this high of a critical chance, and most of their damage is pretty irrelevant at level cap. So, we don't have our Nautilus modded to shoot, nor is its gun very modded besides the critical chance mod to proc Tenacious Bond. Well, boys, that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to drop a like and comment as I'll be doing my best to respond to all of them. I have my Twitch linked in the description where I do tons of giveaways every stream, and also my Patreon if you want to support future content. See you guys in the next level cap build.